Oh, sorry. I forgot to turn on the sound, guys. I forgot to turn on the sound. I am going to wait for the other speakers. Sorry for I forgot to turn on the mic.
No
So
worries,
yeah,
bro.
I would like to I would like to repeat again for the shout outs for the early birds here in the live chat. So hello A&D Family Channel, Mustafa's Efforts, Eric, Alethea, Hugh Nguyen, Abdul Rahim, hello, Michio Uzumaki, Rock, Sheriff Haruna, M. Burak, Dark Ninja. We have Franzelnica Garcia, hello, Ronin Fighting, Daniel, Dobie, Jonathan Kwan, hello there. Agent Property. Yeah, I acknowledge that I have no voice earlier. Apologies for that. Who else we have here? We have Adi Ni Edward. Hello. We have Fung Tran. Yeah. Bormy Kate, hello. So thank you guys for coming. So I think we have the speakers here. So I'm going to switch to gallery. Oh, great the background, just like me. Hello, homie. What's up?
How's it going, homie? Good to see you.
Yeah. Okay, so what about Croissant? Is he online?
She is. Just give me 1 second. I'll drop her a DM here.
Okay. We just have to wait. You might want to say hello to our viewers as of now while we are still waiting for Croissant.
Yeah, absolutely. How's it going? Nice to see everybody. Hoping to see a bunch of homies in here. We've got the Telegram chat moving pretty quick, so we're trying to move everybody over to the YouTube, get those questions ready, and of course, yeah, we're ready to embark on this journey.
Hello, Croissant. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good evening here.
Good evening. Okay.
Yeah, I am in Philippines, so I don't know what is your time zone there, but yeah, I'm ahead of you guys. You know, when it comes to the time zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
For me, it is
here.
8 a.m. 8:03 a.m.
Oh, 8 a.m. So that is like EST or something. Yeah, EST.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm 12 hours ahead. Okay. Oh, 12 hours ahead. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we have like 18 viewers right now as of today, waiting for us to begin. So I think we're all good now. You know, for have you reviewed all the questions that I have for you guys? I think Albino has passed it to you, or we just have to go with the flow.
No, we've got the questions here. We don't do too much preparation in that regard. We like to just kind of answer honestly and on the fly, keep things transparent and very fluid.
Okay, no problem. So I think we're all set right now. So are you guys ready? Both of you?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, and to the rest of the live viewers here, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? I wanna hear some comments here in the live chat. Wow, we have 21 viewers right now. Let's go, homies, huh? Okay. So without further ado, let's begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good day, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, wherever you are in the world. So once again, this is yours truly, Nomad Fury, and we're back again for another live AMA. So our special guests for today are from Homie Wars, known as Mr. Dip and Croissant. So guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
For having us.
All right. And also, I would like to say hello to all of our live viewers here on YouTube. Wow. So we have 29 viewers as of today. So guys, don't forget that we have a giveaway. Okay. So 20 BUSD each for the top 5 questions. So all of your questions, guys, you must reserve it after my Q&A session is over. And of course, guys, please don't spam our live chat so you won't get kicked out by the bot. All right. So guys, are we all set? Hello, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. First things first. We want to introduce what is Homie Wars all about. So, the floor is yours. Okay. So take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Homie Wars is what we foresee the vision of Web3 gaming to become now. We're really looking to eliminate barriers of entry. We want to find ways to mass onboard millions of new users. When we look at the Web3 gaming community, there's less than 1 million users in terms of active gaming. But when we look to the Web2 community, there's over 3 billion. So there's a problem that needs to be solved. And we've spent a lot of time really diving in and conducting market research and trying to understand where those barriers lay. And of course, the entry to play, whether it be financial or whether it be equipment, is a very difficult thing. So we look to overcome that. We look to kind of eliminate those geographical borders and get everybody involved in full capacity. And of course, expand beyond devices so that we can introduce mobile devices and so on and so forth. So we're looking to really introduce just a free to play, fun and exciting game that has these Web3 mechanics, whether it be asset ownership, earning mechanics, interoperability, composability. We really just want to extend the gameplay loop of what Web2 brings with this Web3 technology.
Okay, so that's great to hear from you, Anthony, about the introduction of Homie Wars. So thank you so much. Okay, now let's move over to the question and answer portion. Okay, so before you guys started Homie Wars, I know we have to stroll back in time, right, on how you got introduced yourselves into the crypto, blockchain, and Web3 industry, and what inspired you to pursue this one. So who would like to go first?
Well, personally, I got into the Web3 ecosystem around February 2021. I hadn't much knowledge of it, but I had a lot of professional experience of sales, marketing, and business, of course. And throughout that process, when I first committed, I made an investment, had some success. I quit my job as a project manager in the gas and oil industry after 2 weeks, and I became a day trader in this space. And then from there, decided that having a professional background in business, it only made sense to really start building out a career in this Web3 space. And it's been a great time ever since. Of course, growing up playing games, I was a gamer all my life. I love games, and I saw this emerging market, this huge opportunity. So of course, we had to dive into that. But I'll let Croissant introduce herself as well.
Yeah, hi. I joined actually at the same time, February 2021, but I actually came in on the NFT side of things. I was really excited about, the ability to own your art and that kind of thing, but I just absolutely fell in love with blockchain, and I very quickly moved into trading as well. And then similar to Anthony, I loved this space so much. I loved the technology. I loved being a part of building that next wave of the internet kind of thing, Web3. I missed the first internet boom of all the .coms, and I was really excited to get into this one. So I knew I wanted to work here. So yeah, immediately, as soon as possible, like as soon as kind of something opened up that felt right, we started working in the industry, and we launched, a couple different things, and it's been going really, really well.
Yeah, we've had some great success prior to this. Our first introduction was an NFT project, and we had minted out a full 10,000 NFT collection, which was the first project on the Binance Smart Chain to ever do that. So we essentially founded that ecosystem of the NFT PFP style collections. And then from there, our success led us to another gaming project. It was our first gaming project that we still advise on. But with that project, we hit a $65 million market cap. We minted out a full 4,000 NFT collection in about a day and a half, and success was great. And that enabled us the opportunity to meet the founders of this project, David and Victor. And they've been working on something special. As you can see, having the game product available prior to launch is something that's unheard of in the space, really, at this level. And when we met that team and we started seeing what was available in the product and understood the vision and the business model, we fell in love. How could you not want to be a part of this team? So instantly, we made that commitment, and here we are today working hard to bring this to market.
All right, so that's great to hear from you guys on how you got introduced into the Web3 space, especially in the crypto and blockchain, and what made you pursue it, because this is really an interesting space. Just like you guys, I love playing games, ever since I was a kid, and then here comes the Web3 games, and I fell in love with it. So that's why I really pursued this industry. So yeah, thank you so much for that, guys. Now, for the second question, what is currently the mission and vision of Homie Wars? Oh, you're muted. You're muted.
I got it. I clicked it, but it didn't click. Excuse me. The mission and vision here, as I kind of alluded to earlier, is really to create mass adoption. When we look at the games of last year, there were a lot of inherent flaws in terms of the fundamentals of the game, the quality of the games, the economic models, sustainability, long-term vision, and actual appeal and interest to the average user. So we spent a lot of time this year, roughly about a full year, conducting extreme market analysis, whether it be with data scientists, professional economists, game economy designers, avid gamers, traditional gaming guilds, Web3 gaming guilds, really anybody and everybody we could that had any kind of piece of information would be valuable to understanding this market segment and how it's emerging. And of course, with that, we understood that there are serious accessibility issues for the average Web2 user, and trying to get them into a Web3 game is extraordinarily difficult. Financial barriers are a big one. Having to invest an absurd amount of money to be able to play a game just simply doesn't make sense, and immediately eliminates a large demographic of players. But in addition to that, the quality of games just wasn't interesting. A lot of the games last year, they felt like jobs. Even if you wanted to play to have fun, it felt like a job. And nobody, I mean, that completely defies the meaning of a game. A game is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an opportunity of relief. It's supposed to be a way to socialize and engage. So with Homie Wars, we really wanted to provide a product that is extraordinarily fun, moment by moment, has a metaverse around the gameplay, and allows individuals to come in and congregate and just be able to socialize, have a good time, have various activities and things that they can do within that metaverse, and of course expand into various game modes so that the gameplay loop is extended and continually be a great time for everybody and never really get stale. And then of course with that, we have the opportunity to educate Web2 users on what Web3 presents. So right now with the game, you'll notice that you can hop in as a guest or you can connect a wallet. But the next introductory step is to introduce a custodial wallet with one of our tech integration partners that has an existing ecosystem and utilize a fiat on-ramp so that we don't have to focus on the 1 million Web3 users that are here to try and build up a daily active user base. Instead, we can go to the Web2 audience, introduce them to a game that's just fun and exciting, let them play and have a good time. And then when they enjoy the experience, and the experience is the most important thing, introduce them to the concepts of asset ownership, knowing that they can then increase the value of their NFTs and resell them later, possibly profiting, or at the very least, recouping the value that they invested in the game if they want to go elsewhere. And of course, the earning mechanics with the token, knowing that they can play a game and make money and do so in a manner that doesn't cost investment. That's one of the biggest challenges, is if you're looking to accumulate a daily active user base, you want people who want to play the game. So if we can accumulate that, we can use that as leverage to bring in a third-party revenue stream, which is advertising and sponsorship. And with that, we can create a sustainable profit-sharing model that actually allows players to play a game and make money without an impending collapse coming. So our vision is really to change the entire space. What everybody sees Web3 gaming as, we want to advance that, we want to improve it, and we want to bring in millions of users into the space so they can play this game and have fun, and play other games and have fun.
Okay, so that's an interesting mission and vision that you have shared, Mr. Deb. So thank you so much for that. Okay, for my next question, this is something that really intrigued me a lot because, I am already familiar of the game called The Fall Guys. I've been playing that in my phone, and I was addicted to it back then. And then there's this Web3 game called The Blankos Block Party, in which they have a similar type of concept. Okay. Now, my question for you guys is that, as it's inspired by Fall Guys and other similar ones out there, what makes this any different?
Oh, that's a good question. A whole lot makes it different, realistically. I mean, our understanding of the game economy design and how we can bring the Web3 technology in. So one of the big things that we're looking at is interoperability. We want our metaverse to coexist with other metaverses. So if you have assets from partner games or other gaming projects that are sharing the vision of the space with us, you have the ability to bring those assets into this ecosystem. And that's something we want to provide that mutually reciprocal value with, so that individuals, again, can purchase our NFT assets and have a value elsewhere, or likewise. And then in addition to that, we have an earning mechanic system that is extraordinary in a lot of capacities, in that it's sustainable, it's functional, and it will work for quite some time without any real concern, which really differentiates us from any player in game, because we're seeing a huge shift in play to earn fading away because people are abandoning that earning mechanics. We went too far to one side of the spectrum last year where it was just not sustainable. And now this year, everybody wants to venture away from it and eliminate it, but it has a high value all around the world. And if it can be introduced in a way that works, which we have, then that's going to just create this new iteration of gameplay, which is totally going to change the space. But these are just kind of the top level things. When we start looking into the game itself and the gameplay, what makes us different is that we're constantly developing and expanding. So of course we do have inspiration from, as you can see, Fall Guys now, but we have inspiration from other games as well. And we'll be introducing all kinds of new game mechanics, game modes, and of course into the metaverse and the expansion of that. We have inspiration from other metaverses, and of course all of our own original ideas. So the activity that we'll be introducing is extraordinary. And two major things that we're looking at that we just don't see across the Web3 gaming space, which is a huge problem, is the lack of content from the games. For gentlemen like yourself or young ladies who are content creators and streamers, they simply don't have the ability to do anything with the product that's available. So we have, to begin, we have a spectator mode, which is available to streamers, content creators, and even those that are aspiring to be so. And you can simply create a challenge room, come in yourself as a spectator, and you can pan across with a camera and you can stream the live content. And with our golden ticket event we'll be hosting every single day, we'll be doing that manually or automatically, I should say, from our stream into our platform. So you'll be able to watch the tournaments daily for those that aren't engaging or are waiting for their opportunity to play. And we also look to social media integration, which is something we'll be introducing, in which when you have an accomplishment or something you've done in the game, you can immediately go share that with your social platforms. Excuse me. These are two big things, excuse me, in the gameplay aspect. And of course, as we start looking to a few different models, such as how we will be building out and creating that mass adoption, the mass adoption is what's differentiating us from all of the Web3 games, with our ability to provide easy, no barrier to entry access to Web2 users. So that's just a few off the top of my head.
Oh, that's really awesome. Especially that you have mentioned about the spectator mode, right? I haven't seen that in other games like the Fall Guys and Blancos, in which I can't spectate, for those even some of my friends there, I cannot spectate them. But of course, we also have another purpose to spectate, in which we could scout them, for the tournaments later on, right? So yeah. All right. So yeah, at least you've shared to us on what makes this any different compared to the Fall Guys, Blancos Block Party, and other similar ones out there. And I actually agree with you. Web3 has changed the game, for these games, right? Because of these what we call the NFTs, or simply known as the non-fungible tokens. Okay, and it can be applicable for the other games. Okay. So when it comes to that, what are your special use cases of your NFTs in Homie Wars, and why it's worth owning it, and maybe in the near future?
Well, very similar to what we've seen in the Web2 space, we look to utilize our game skins as game skins. That's what the NFTs are. And the narrative and the language we'll be using with the Web2 community is really deviating away from NFTs, because it's a piece of technology that doesn't necessarily appeal to them or matter to them. What matters to them is the utility, as you mentioned. And it's very simplistic for us. It's providing a quality asset that the user can own. So in this case, it's a game skin. You can go in ahead and within the first season collection, you can find a game skin that represents your identification or your ID, how you feel, what you like to express yourself with, and you can take that into the game and experience that. But beyond that, there's some outstanding mechanics, and I feel like I'm hogging the mic, so I will let my partner Croissant discuss the mechanics of those NFTs here in the space.
Yeah, I love that side of things. The NFTs actually have different abilities. So each one in our first season collection right now, there's 30 of them. They each have a different ability for speed, jump, and recovery, which will influence how you play the game. So if you're like me, I have long nails. When I try to do the special jump thing where you jump and dive, I kind of get tripped up. So I really need that homie ninja with the special jump ability to increase my, effectiveness within the game. And everybody's going to have that, where there's just something a little bit different. But they also have this really fun nostalgia to them. As you can see the game like playing behind Anthony and I right here. This is a colorful game. We want people to just truly enjoy it. So we created characters that a lot of people would recognize from their childhood, from cartoons, and then also animals. So we recognize that people are going to sort of identify with a NFT more than another. So for example, I really like the ninja. He kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle. I loved Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. But somebody else might want to play as Homie Stone, who kind of looks like Fred Flintstone, right? But what we've actually done is we've made these NFTs dynamic. So each of their traits, speed, jump, and recovery, will be trainable. So people are going to be able to have the NFT they want and train it to have the skills that they need, or purchase it on aftermarket for where someone else has already trained it, and then they can immediately have the skills that they need. So there's a couple different ways that you can sort of navigate it. But either way, it's going to be really interesting to see how people utilize the dynamic aspect of these NFTs.
All right, so that's awesome. For those special cases of your NFTs. I have a quick follow-up question. Do you offer limited edition Genesis NFTs just like the other games out there for Homie Wars?
Yes, we do. Actually, this first season collection, it only has 500 NFTs, but we have some really amazing partners, and we wanted to celebrate them in the Homieverse. So we are actually partnered with BSC News, and we created for them a Homie Reporter. and he has his camera and he has his, BSC news hat and stuff on. And that NFT is only available in this first season 1 drop. And then we also have another project partner, Pixel Sweepers. They are a NFT on the Binance Smart Chain, very strong community. They loved Homie Wars when they first saw it. We've done tournaments with them in their community. So we created for them a Homie Sweeper. And similarly, that is exclusive to this first season drop. And this is something that we'll be continuing on with as we go along. We have a number of amazing partners to announce, and we love creating special homies for them. And we know our audience does as well. So all of our players.
Wow, that's really awesome, Croissant. Especially the fact that you have mentioned, having those partners collaborating with you guys, just like what Bored Ape is collaborating with the other games. So yeah, let's look forward to it. Wow, this is really amazing. Okay, so thank you so much. Now, before we head over to the next question, I would like to remind all of our viewers here about our giveaway. So 20 BUSD each for the top 5 AMA questions. Okay. So please reserve your questions after my Q&A session is over. And once again, please do not spam our live chat, okay? So that you won't get silenced by the bot. Okay, let's proceed to the next question. What about Homie Coin, by the way, guys? Could you explain about its utilities and which blockchain is it deployed right now and why?
Do you
Hello?
want this one, or do you want me to take it?
No, you do it.
Okay. Sorry. So Homie Coin to start is initially going to be launching on the BNB chain. BNB chain is home to us. We have a pretty extensive network there. We have pretty good clout. We know a lot of people that are doing the right things and building alongside us, share the same vision. Also, we have a pretty intimate relationship with Binance at this point in time. I mean, we've been on AMAs with CZ. He's been replying to our posts, kind of our tweets on Twitter. And we've just been, in talks with Binance Labs about a few things. We can't talk too much, but we have some plans to obviously work alongside Binance in whatever capacity is possible. So that's where we will be beginning. But of course, anybody who's really looking to support the metaverse or gaming ecosystems, we will be looking to build within those protocols as well. That's more of the long-term vision. As we look at the token itself right now, as it will be on the BNB chain, the utilities are relatively simple in the beginning. It funds the game, essentially. We're doing a token raise, and then that token will be used in the game as the wagering currency, as well as the rewards pool. There will be a variety of different utilities. So as you look, initially, the earning mechanic will be simply the challenge rooms, and you will wager a token against another player or other players within a battle room, and there will be a prize pool awarded to that. That's more of a competitive edge. There is the opportunity to lose there. What we look to do in terms of our generated rewards is that we'll have our daily golden battle, as I mentioned earlier, and that event will be up to 1,000 users competing. No cost to entry, it's free to enter. The top 750 token holders will have access provided to them. They'll have a spot reserved. If they're not available, it will continue to move down the list. So there's another added value in holding that token or staking that token. But the bottom 250 positions will be available to absolutely anybody. Whether you hold an NFT or a token or not, it simply doesn't matter. You will have the ability to apply, and we'll randomly select those 250 users, and that will be paid out as a reward system to those winners there. So there's very basic entry. We try not to complicate things with extensive minting and burning. There will be no minting at all. So the need for burning is not necessary. It's something that it reflects a non-functional economy. So what we want to have is circulation. There'll be opportunities to spend that token within the community or within the ecosystem so that you get added value, whether that be purchasing NFTs, upgrading NFTs, seeking out wagering systems. There's a variety of things that we're working on right now. And we will continue to add as much utility as possible, but it's about the circulation of the token and not the minting and burning. And that's essential with the future of Web3 gaming, because one of the major flaws we saw last year was a disproportionate level of inflation. And it becomes a detriment to the spaces in entirety. So that's kind of a top level introduction. There's quite a bit that will be introduced throughout these periods of time, particularly as we start partnering with some of the major ecosystems that we're working with. We have an extensive network of partners. So there'll be a lot of value coming to those that have stockpiled up on those tokens.
Awesome. That's a really awesome utilities that you have shared, regarding Homie Coin. Okay. So thank you so much for that, Mr. Dip. All right. So for my next question, this is an interesting one, by the way. Could you share about your past and recent achievements that you guys have accomplished, including the partners that you have on board?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tricky one. We have a lot of serious partnerships that are coming into play that we have NDAs on. So there's some information we can't discuss. And it's some of the most exciting information because we're talking about some of the most renowned corporations in the gaming industry and even beyond that in terms of support elements and how we can introduce revolutionary innovation to the Web3 space. But with what we do have existing right now, you can see quite clearly, either throughout our white paper on our website and in our community, that we have extensive relationships with other gaming projects, with other NFT projects, as we look to provide added value and utility to NFTs and the tokens. This will be something that works across various ecosystems. But we also have Altura NFT is a major NFT marketplace that we're partnered with, and they're representing us quite aggressively. We have a very powerful relationship, and they're working to introduce their tech with the dynamic NFTs into our products so that we can have added value created with these NFTs. And we'll look to continually expand even the minted collections as we proceed. Everything will be kind of just growing and growing and growing and adding that new value. And that's a lot of things, like as Croissant had mentioned, the characteristics of the NFTs, but as well the history of the NFTs. So you can see previous owners, you can see how many battles were won. Each NFT will represent its own kind of track history. And of course, that'll play into the leaderboard system that we'll be building out in the future. Another major partnership we have is the DApp Play Store, which is a Web3 decentralized applications distribution platform. Another outstanding product in our opinion, and they're looking to kind of take the crown of Apple's App Store within the Web3 ecosystem. So that another great partnership. I mean, there's so many. Just give you a moment to really think. Croissant, dive in with me if you wish, and I'll keep chiming off.
We have some really cool partnerships. Yeah, another NFT marketplace that we're working with and community is Octogamix. We absolutely love those guys. They are just so amazing and so supportive. And they have a really strong community that's just everyone that sees Homie Wars. I mean, you can see it in the background here. They're just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I can't wait to play. So it's actually really fun to tell people about. And we actually are also partnered with Polium, which is a Web3 gaming console that's coming out soon. We're going to be one of the first games that's going to be able to be playable on their device, which we're very excited about. And similarly, we have, as Anthony was saying, we have a few that we haven't actually announced yet, that we're waiting for, the token to become live. Everything is integrated, and then we're going to be listed on some pretty cool places, announcing some other really cool partnerships with some big guys to bring a lot more homies into the game. So.
Yeah, I apologize. We've been so busy on business development calls with a lot of these new partners. I almost forgot some of the partners that we had. We have an extensive list though, but I mean, what is going to be dropping is what's mind-boggling, to be honest. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming.
We just closed a deal the other day that we're both so excited about. We're just like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? We're trying to tell you without telling you.
Yeah, there's some huge platforms coming into this space. And we're going to be participating with almost all of the major ones that are going to be building shop here.
Awesome. That's really awesome lineup of partnerships that you have, guys, and hopefully more to come. Thank you so much for that. Now, aside from the achievements that you have, could you also share about the challenges that you have been facing nowadays and how you guys cope up with that?
Yeah, I think right off the bat, a very difficult challenge that anybody building a game in the Web3 ecosystem has to face is finding the daily active users. This is what we spent a lot of time on this year, is really understanding, because that's the value that extends the game essentially, whether it be within the growth of the token on the chart, whether it be onboarding of partners and major corporations you want to deal with for various relationships across different domains, as well as being able to generate revenue, and not revenue from the players, but really bringing in a third-party revenue stream, because that's what's essential. A lot of the games we've seen in the past focus solely on new user investment as a revenue stream. And that's not revenue. What that is extending the runway, and that's allowing investors to add value to your project by you building out with the capital that they provide. But that's not a revenue model. So those are some big challenges right off the top of my head, is the daily active users and establishing those revenue streams. We've spent so much time on this year. It's insane, the blood, sweat, tears, hours, time, money that we put into this and understanding. But to bring in Web2 users is the key in this moment in time. Being able to not differentiate between Web2 gamers and Web3 gamers, but introduce people to your game and then educate them on Web3 as a result of that. So the onboarding process, and of course, once you have that, being able to understand what the value is of your users beyond playing the game, but how you can monetize within that to provide value to the product itself, as well as those players by enabling a profit sharing model. And I think we've got the solutions quite aggressive. We have a lot of advertising partners that we're working on tournament sponsorship with right now. We're going to be implementing some major tournaments, whether it be in alignment with major Twitter spaces that are already existing, or whether it be in alignment with gaming guilds and esports teams. There are some very reputable brands that we're working with and building models out with right now. And of course, traditional advertising, as we look to introduce non-intrusive on-brand advertising that users will enjoy engaging with, whether it be signage through the courses you can kind of see behind me, whether it be billboards within the metaverse, or just other ways to engage advertising within maybe. And I can't allude too much, but perhaps in the future, your NFT game skins will have additional features, and there could be wrapping upon those, or there could be unique skins, as we see with the Homie Reporter, things along those lines, finding ways to introduce a revenue model that is not dependent on the player, but benefits the player. And of course, doesn't impede upon the user's experience in any way whatsoever. Those are the big challenges I think anybody faces, and I think we've got the solutions. I think we're trendsetters right now. There's some big things that are going to happen as a result of this.
All right, so awesome. It's great for you to share how you guys cope up with those challenges, from the beginning until now. So, and yeah, here we are right now. So that's really great. All right. Now, I know that we are looking forward to the future, right? So, how do you see Homie Wars in a few years from now?
That's an interesting question. Yeah, in Web3, a few years is such an extravagant period of time, but we do have a roadmap built out, looking at 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and to pinpoint a particular date on that timeline would ease this process of how we envision it. But we definitely see us onboarding millions of users into the space. We see us being a major catalyst. Of course, not the only game that does this. We have some major gaming partners that are doing outstanding things in the space right now that we haven't announced yet. But we will be doing some kind of joint tournaments with them as well. And we share the same vision, and we know they're conducting themselves in the same way to really onboard millions of users. So I foresee this metaverse massively expanded from what you see today in the alpha state, various game modes. So multiple niches and genres of gameplay that expand beyond the race or the traditional survival, but introducing other components of competition. And of course, massive community with sub-communities within it. As we expand the metaverse, we intend to bring our partners into this space so that their users can find a place to congregate and socialize as well. So that's really what I see, a massive metaverse with a variety of gameplay modes and a whole lot of users on a daily basis.
We can actually already even see that in what's been built so far. I mean, how much has been built just even since we first saw the project. I mean, now you go into the metaverse, there's an NFT museum, there's an arena for football, there's a disco, there's the stage for presenting. All kinds of amazing things have already been built in just such a short period of time. And we do have plans to continue building out from there and working with our project partners as well. So for example, BSC News are so excited. They love the Homieverse. Like, we love hopping in with them. They're such a fun team. And, it's actually really fun, just as a sidebar, when you go with a bunch of your friends and you're sort of playing around in this fun environment and just being like doing silly stuff. Like, they were actually the first ones that figured out that you could jump onto each other's heads. And so we make like homie towers where there's like five homies tall or something like that, just, playing around. But they're super excited about the Homieverse as well. We're planning on building out a BSC News stand, for example. That's one of the first iterations. But as Anthony was saying, it's just going to keep growing and growing from there. But seeing the rate of development that we have already, where, I mean, you can go into the world, you can run around there right now and you can see everything that's already been built. So it's, it's exciting just how much can be built in a few years' time.
All right, interesting stuff, that you have shared. And how do you see a Homie Wars in a few years from now? Okay, we're now down to our last question. I know that the audience right here on YouTube are waiting for their turn to ask. Okay, so this is my final question. Okay, this is really important, by the way. Could you give us one reason on why we should be on board or not missing out the Homie Wars, especially that you have an upcoming pre-sale on Pink Sale?
Oh, sorry, Croissant. Yeah, I mean, we're setting the trend in the industry. It's quite evident. I know it's very tough to cover a lot of the material in an AMA like this. But if you reach out within our community, you want to give us DMs, you want to talk in the Telegram chat, you want to follow us on Twitter, see us in Twitter Spaces on a regular basis. There is no question that we understand the space in a capacity that most don't. I like to think. We know the industry leaders right now. We know the major prominent names and how they envision the space. And we're so perfectly aligned in how we're approaching with this business model with what the guys that dictate and the gals that dictate this market space to be. Our level of confidence is extraordinary, and we have an opportunity to seize that moment as we're bringing in a AA game that has an outstanding user experience and this traction within the Web3 ecosystem already. And knowing that everybody sees this and we have the tools and mechanics in place ready to build this out and onboard millions of users. I mean, it's so cliche when people say get in early. I mean, this is your chance, it's early. But I mean, this is early. This is an extraordinary chance, an opportunity to just hop in. And I mean, we're not here telling anybody to buy a token or purchase an NFT. By all means, personally, I am, and I'm a member of the core team, but I understand the investment opportunity here. But what we're saying is just get in the game and experience it. Come play Homie Wars, walk around the metaverse, socialize with your friends, see what's going on, and get a feel for this experience, and then hop in the community and see how that correlates with the team's vision and what it is we're doing and how we're going to change not only the play to earn market segment, but Web3 gaming as a whole. And gaming as a whole, as we start to see these major AAA studios in the Web2 space come over to this aspect, this side of the spectrum, and introduce this technology, there is no doubt that this is an exciting time for us.
If you look to the ecosystem right now, a lot of people say, oh, it's the bear market, and what do you do in the bear market? You build, and you find gems like this that have been building and are now like ready to go. And we actually are very bullish about GameFi in general. We sort of think that GameFi actually might be the catalyst that starts the next bull run. Because if you're looking at, what's going on in the Web3 ecosystem, all of the money is actually right now being funneled into GameFi. Like all of the major players, the major VCs, they are investing into GameFi. And a lot of those games are still a year out. It takes a long time to build a good game, but we've been at this for, at least 8 months now. So we have a good jump on things. So we're kind of that, that early bird, I guess. So for the private investor that wants to get into things, because obviously that's part of what a pre-sale is, it's for people who want to invest in the game. This is a great opportunity where, it's a crowdfunding thing essentially, right? Where, the VCs, where are they putting their money? They're putting it into GameFi. So if I was talking to a friend or family and I was going to, tell them where to potentially invest for the future, I would say GameFi. And when you do that, you want to look for incredible projects like this. Yeah.
All right. So at least we learned from you guys on why we should not miss out the Homie Wars, especially that you have an upcoming sale on the Pink Sale Launchpad. All right. Now it's time for us to go to the live chat to see the questions from our from the community. So that ends my Q&A session. All right. So I'm gonna pick some few here, but of course, just to remind you guys that picking your question right now in the live chat doesn't mean that you are already the winner. Okay. So the team will be reviewing all of your entries, and they're going to be the ones to finalize which of these questions are likely going to stand out and end up being in the top 5. Okay. So I'm gonna go one by one here. So question coming from Michio Uzumaki, and of course and I quote, let's see. I see Homie Wars has an interesting mechanism for earning, which is battle to earn, or B2E. So can you explain about the mechanism and how can we generate through this model?
Yeah, it's very simple. Initially, we have the challenge rooms or the battle rooms. And within these particular facets of the game mode or the mechanic, you simply wager tokens. So you purchase tokens here in the pre-sale on Pink Sale today. You have your token allocation, and you can take a set amount and you wager it. X number of people, whether it be one other person or 9 other people, come into this battle room with you. You create a prize pool. There's a competition. And of course, the winners take that prize pool, and however that distribution method works. Right now, the way we have it established is the winner takes all. So there's a bit of a risk in that, but there's a great time for those that win. So you really want to get in the gym and practice, train, get your skill sets up, and get familiar with the game. But that is just the PvP style. When we look to expanding into the major tournaments, they're free to enter, regardless of whether or not you hold the token or not. Of course, holding the token gives you the advantage with the reserve spots. But in that matter, you just come in and compete yet again. And the winner, right now, the system we have established is winner takes all. But we will be looking to introduce some other kind of exciting methods of that. We see some of our partner projects distributing small amounts across the entire span of competitors. In some cases, maybe flipping it. So maybe the last place gets the largest prize, just some interesting ways to have fun. But that's essentially it. If you want to earn, you play the game as much as you possibly can. And there's no cost to playing the game. You can come in and you can battle for free with your friends without wagering, or you can go in the gym and train by yourself and get familiar with the courses. So that's the introductory. There are a lot of other things that will be coming in the future, but we really focus on assuring that we have a sustainable functional model that is going to be lasting for forever, essentially. We run hundreds of simulations. We want to assure that there's no way for this to inflate in a manner that would destroy the economy, and of course, not to be exploited or manipulated. And you know, it speaks for itself when you have a sustainable method. And when we look to those prize pools that don't require any wager, of course, as I mentioned, we have these third-party revenue streams we'll be utilizing, whether it be tournament sponsorship, which will fund the prize pools themselves, or within our daily golden battle, of course, we'll be introducing advertising, and that third-party revenue stream will be able to provide, you know, the capital necessary to reward everybody within the system.
All right, so hopefully that answers your question, Michio Uzumaki. So thank you so much. Okay, next question coming from Scooby. So this question for you guys, and I quote, pump and dump tactics are becoming a serious issue in the world of crypto that has to be addressed. Could you kindly explain how will your homie token keep away from manipulating prices and ensure price stability?
Well, that's an interesting question. Pump and dumps have been a problem since the beginning of crypto. I mean, as far back as the ICO craze in 2017. So I don't think it's anything new. How you prevent it is an interesting topic. We are quite familiar with the markets. We have very close colleagues that are market analysts at a very high level, some of the most renowned in the space. And we obviously seek their guidance as frequently as possible. Within the game and within our advertising, we look to maintain stability within the token, and of course, look towards what's happening in the global markets in terms of negative catalysts and positive catalysts. And of course, we try to align things with our marketing campaigns, however they be running, whether it be consecutive or parallel. And of course, the catalysts we have within our company, whether they be developmental, bringing on new members to the team, expansion. There's a lot of different ways we can focus on continuing growth. Pump and dump is, I mean, it's such, it's interesting. When you have projects of this nature, pump and dump becomes less of a concern because you have real value, you have tangible value. As a startup, we have this opportunity and responsibility to create value. So, I mean, when we look at pump and dumps, it's much more of a speculative behavior. Of course, there will be speculation within this, but we're creating value, and we continue to create value on a daily basis, and we will continue to do that for years to come. So I think that's the greatest security. But this is a great question. It's a topic that we could discuss for hours if we really dive into the finer details. But it's really about assuring that we have a quality product, a quality community, we market accordingly, and we continue to grow. And that's exactly what we've been doing for the past year and what we're going to continue doing for years to come.
Yeah, this project is significantly different than a lot of the other ones that you would see in that sort of pump and dump category where, you know, I mean, you can see it, it's been built. This is a real game. This is a real business, a real company. You know, this isn't, it's just, that's not what it is. It isn't a pump and dump, you know, it's not even, yeah, it's a completely different class of project, right? Like we have an actual product, we have, you know, a company that we're building and a really long roadmap of, you know, token utility. So.
All right, so hopefully that answers your concern, Scooby. So thank you so much. Now for the next question coming from Eric Billig, so one of my longtime supporters. So his question for you guys, and I quote, I see the Golden Battle is the main event within the Homie Wars. Could you please tell us a little about these events and how can we participate and what rewards we'll be getting?
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Croissant. My apologies.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hop in on this one. I love the Golden Battle as well. We are so looking forward to it. It's going to be 1,000 homies every single day at the same time, competing. As you can see, a little homie running behind me. There's going to be 1,000 of them running down these tracks, and it's a winner take all battle. And the way we have it set up is that the first 750 spots are reserved for our top token holders. So if you are one of the top token holders in Homies, you're going to be guaranteed a spot to play. But if you don't want to play, then your spot is going to be allocated to the next Homie down. We do want to make sure that this is a free to play game though. So we are reserving 250 spots every single day for any homie to get in the game and play. Whether you have an NFT or not, whether you hold a token or not, you can just come play. It will be a raffle system where, you know, everyone that wants to play, because we're assuming, you know, there will be more than 250 that want to play. So you will add your name into the hat for the free pass, and 250 homies will be selected, and you get in the game and you get to run around and play. We'll have spectator mode on, so there's people coming in. We actually had a great idea presented to us in our community the other day of someone wanting to be able to bet on the game, and you know, so use the spectator mode to be able to like pick a homie that they think is going to win and utilize that as well. So that's something that our team is now considering on the back end. But yeah, the daily golden battle is going to be a fun one for sure.
Yeah, especially with the daily streaming. I mean, that's something that we think is going to be groundbreaking. Is there just hasn't been enough content for streamers and content creators. But knowing that every single day that's going to be available, and whether or not you compete or you wish to watch, that's something that's going to create this viral attitude and how this expands to the market so quickly.
Awesome. So hopefully this answers your concern, Eric. So thank you so much. Okay. Next question coming from Tommy Meow. So his question, and I quote, does the game have plans for multiple chains, and with the game update other gameplay modes like, you know, a zombie mode?
I'm really happy
love that.
Sorry.
I'm gonna go ahead and say we are now considering a zombie mode. That's a cool idea. But Anthony, go ahead and take this question. Sorry.
Ironically, we have a very good relationship and working on announcing something with somebody who may be zombie related in the near future. So that's a great connection. But having said that, yes, we do look to expand, obviously, the game skins, the gameplay loops. So there'll be a variety of new game modes. And of course, within the game modes that already exist, introducing new courses, new tracks, new obstacles, ways to keep the game fresh and exciting. Of course, we don't want anybody with the big brains memorizing the course key by key so that they can get through at the perfect time. We want to create that excitement for new users who can come in and still have a bit of of course, with the learning curve, but still have a competitive edge available to them. So we'll be expanding pretty vastly, nonstop, continually, to be honest, in that capacity. I mean, one thing that's really important to know with our project is that we are very community driven. This product is being built for the community. It's for the users. It's for the gamers. And the feedback loop is very important to us. So with what does exist, we want the community to come and talk to us, let us know how you feel, whether it's great, whether it's bad, whether you have some suggestions. That's really important for what we have now. But what's even more important is that if you have ideas, the modding culture is what really changed gaming as an industry. Look at Rockstar Games and how they evolved with their ability to introduce their community into the building of the game, the building of the culture. We want to introduce that as well. That's something we want to be a part of this. So we're always open to conversations. I mean, get in the Telegram, t.me/Homie Wars, one word, and talk to us, get involved. And of course, we have our vision, our plans, but who's to say we wouldn't take a little pivot or a little deviation because the community wants it. It's going to happen. We want to provide the best experience possible to all of our community members and gamers.
Awesome. Wow. All right. So you've heard it, zombie mode is upcoming. So thank you so much for that. Okay. So Tommy Meow, hopefully this answers your concern. Okay, next question from Adiemi Adebambo. So his question, I quote, are you planning to promote your project in countries where English is not good? And do you have a local community for them to better understand about your project?
Yeah, perfect question. And without a doubt, I mean, the gaming industry is very powerful in East Asia and Southeast Asia. As we look from the Philippines, we look to Cambodia, Laos, we look into Vietnam, Korea, China. There is huge opportunity there. And this is a product that we think would be of great interest. And not only do we think that, we're being approached aggressively by many individuals, whether they be partnered corporations that we're working on, whether they be investors, whether they be users, just gaming communities in general, they want to be a part of this. So of course, we do have to introduce that. We'll be looking to expand our international communities immediately after the launch, essentially. We're putting all the pieces in place right now. And of course, the first step is getting all of the copywritten material. When I say copywritten, I mean the white paper and the language translated to the appropriate languages so that users around the world can, of course, engage and understand the material in a way that's fair and concise for them. But of course, beyond that, we're not stopping there. As we build these communities, we're also looking to bring on marketing campaigns. And we have some very powerful relationships with some of the biggest marketing agencies in Eastern Asia. I mean, Croissant has an outstanding relationship with a very prominent name that we won't drop here today. But this company is, they're doing powerful things, and they're working for, again, I won't drop names, but let's say the biggest investor in Web3 gaming and metaverse on the planet. So knowing that they have that track record and they're working successfully for that partner that they share, we're very excited to have them leading our campaigns across various Asian nations.
Just to follow up on that, and why we wouldn't say the name, it's because we actually haven't announced it yet. So this is a plan that we're putting in place for post launch, where we've already gotten the outline from them. We have some target demographics, absolutely in Southeast Asia, as well as other countries, but yeah, and we're really excited about it. But it's a bit inappropriate to announce something like that's not officially, like, we can't say it because it's not officially announced yet, right? But yeah, but we are so excited to be bringing this to the world. Personally, I always like to just kind of get my little plug in on this. One of my favorite parts about Web3 is that it is worldwide, and we are a worldwide community coming together. And the way where we have earning within our game, and that's so exciting, because for me, if I earn $5 in the game, I'm in North America, that's a tank of gas to me. That's awesome, right? But someone over in Southeast Asia, $5 to them, oh my gosh, that could be like a whole day's pay kind of thing. And that's so exciting. And obviously we're cognizant of this, and we're building for that in a way where we can make it happen sustainably and long term. So as Anthony was saying earlier, with us bringing in advertisers and that kind of thing, and all we want is the homies to come play the game, and then that way we can funnel the revenue back into the community and create this model, this sustainable worldwide model. And we're so excited to build that. So yes, I love that question as well. We cannot wait to open this up to more international communities. And as Anthony was saying, we already have people coming into our community right now, our Telegram. And do you have an India group? Someone came in last night. Do you have a Pakistan group? Do you have a Turkey group? And like, people are excited from around the world, and we're excited to welcome them in. We're all homies.
Yeah, homies. Awesome. That's really awesome to hear. Okay. So thank you so much, Eddie Bambo, for that question, especially that you guys have mentioned Philippines. So I just want to say hello to all of our Filipino viewers out there. So mabuhay. Shout out to you guys. All right. So next question coming from Honey. Oh, okay. So this is really interesting one. So his question, and I quote, in terms of regulation, are you fully compliant that will ensure peace of mind among investors? And do you think that Homie Wars is ready to face the challenge of government regulation to achieve that goal?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that is extraordinarily important, and not only within the business models that we're building, but any of the partnerships we establish, is compliance. Being prepared is an essential task for a lot of reasons. And I mean, it's a little bit more than just what people see as the SEC regulation. It's understanding what's going to happen with commodity regulations, understanding what's going to happen with accounting and some of these other things with the IRS in the United States, and of course the corresponding agencies around the world. So we have been very prudent to assure that we are as compliant as we can be now, but prepared for any changes that would be necessary to remain compliant. And of course, we have an extraordinary set of relationships with a variety of not only attorneys, but accountants as well. And we've actually hosted a Twitter space not too long ago with a gentleman by the name of Mark J. Kohler, and he's quite prominent here on YouTube. I believe he's got 300,000 subscribers, and he's actually an outstanding individual that we're looking to maybe again have an event within the community so that we can provide further education, not just for us as business owners, but with the community members and how they can focus on making sure that they're compliant in terms of taxation and of course any kind of investment regulation. Something that we're very, very adamant about, and we love the resources that we have. We have some outstanding people in our network, and we look to continually educate with as much as we possibly can, and that's one of those great values. So in short, yes, we are compliant. Yes, we look to remain compliant, And we have the expertise, the professional expertise from some of the most renowned names in the space to continue to make sure that we're there and, of course, assist our community as much as possible.
Excellent question. I love that your community is thinking about stuff like that as well. It's so important, and it's definitely something we're working on.
All right. So hopefully this answers your question, Hani. So thank you so much for that. Now, for the next question, okay, I'm coming from one of my OGs, Cornelius V. So his question for you, and I quote, which is the top priority of the team? Is it NFT or the value of the token? Is it the investors and the backers or the players in the community?
See, that's a funny question because we exist in the Web3 space. And in the Web3 ecosystem, something's a little bit different now where everybody becomes an investor. We have that opportunity for decentralized fundraising. So it's a bit of a different market. And I think that's why a lot of people struggled in the past is there hasn't been clarity on that. At the end of the day, our focus is on providing value. Value comes in a variety of fashions, but when we create a product that's a gaming product, the game has to provide a positive user experience, the best user experience, and it has to onboard users. And as a result of that, we will increase the value of the token. You will see an NFT valuation increase within secondary markets. You'll see the market cap of the business. You'll see our treasury within the company. You'll see our community value. Every single aspect of the business will grow and increase in value if we can increase the value proposition that we present to the consumers. And that's by providing a quality product and onboarding more gamers. The more gamers that come into this ecosystem, the more everything will be worth for everybody. So of course, to put it in a very short term, if I had to pick one, the priority is of course the gaming experience and the gamers that come in and providing that to them. As we look to onboard Web2 users, this is something nobody's doing. I mean, yes, we can look at the Web3 gaming community and bring in Web3 gamers and they will purchase tokens and they will buy NFTs and they'll play the game periodically and then they'll move on to another project and watch another chart. And then they'll try and play the chart. They'll gamify the investment component. They won't necessarily play the game. But when we bring in Web2 gamers, they're going to come in and they're going to purchase game skins. It won't be NFTs because it'll all be custodial. They'll use their credit card using the interface within the game. They'll just hop in the metaverse. They'll go over to the marketplace in the museum. And they'll buy the NFT. And that increases the treasury value, which extends our runway and what we can do to improve the business. And when we look at them buying the game currency, they'll be using their credit card and they'll be doing it. They won't need to create a MetaMask. They won't need to remember a seed phrase. They won't need to know about Web3. They'll just need to know how to go in the game in the metaverse, which is simply loading up the website and you're in. It's that simple. And then within that game, it's an email and a password and they register. And then they can buy these assets. And every time they buy a game currency, that token value goes up for everybody who's holding a token. Every time they buy an NFT, we have more funding to continue the runway and distribute the revenue that's generated from the NFT sales within the prize pools, within the game, within the profit sharing model. I mean, the options are endless. So it's really about onboarding the Web2 gamers. And that's what nobody's getting right now is how do we appeal our game to everybody? Well, we create a fun game, we create value. And that's what we're doing. And that's what we're going to continue to do every single day.
Yeah, a lot of people have actually been asking us as well, like, oh no, it's the bear market. Like, do you need to wait till the bull market to succeed? And it's like, no, homie, like, look at the utility of our token, like the way that it's built out, it's all about the gamers. And so as we bring in more gamers, that, as Anthony was saying, it just increases the token value for our investors. And it's all just one big happy circle of everything working together. And, you know, and that's the way that we're building it out. So that's why one of the reasons that we're just so excited about the upcoming tournaments and partnerships that we have to announce, you know, being on the gaming side and bringing in so many gamers. And, you know, and I don't necessarily know that our investors understand that that's the utility of the token. And that is what causes the token to increase. But yeah, so it's one big ecosystem.
All right, so you've heard it, Cornelius V. You know, their priority is the game experience itself. So thank you so much for that. Great question. Now, next question coming from Dong P2E. So, and I quote, Homie Wars. I mean, is Homie Wars planning to organize scholarship or not, or in combination with game guilds? Because I see that game guilds have a very good number of users. Are you planning to do that in the future? Or is it in your roadmap?
It's an interesting question as well. These are great questions. I love your community. Okay, the context is really important because when we look at Web3 gaming guilds of last year, they were predicated on the model of earning within those games that existed last year. And of course, we've kind of seen a little bit of continuation in this year, but there was a lot of basically things tapered off really quickly because the games essentially couldn't sustain. And now what we're seeing with a lot of the gaming guilds is that they're monetizing their players by providing them to new gaming projects, and of course charging per player per period of time. So the scholarship model differs a little bit. I can guarantee you we are working with gaming guilds aggressively. We were going to be providing as much opportunity as we can to gaming guilds and onboarding their users and providing not only value to those users, but specific to each gaming guild, they will have their own unique type of value. So we look to provide branding opportunities and different utilities within the game to these various partners. But the model's a little different, and there's a few things we're working on because this isn't a yield farm, or you come in and you have X type of behavior with X type of asset or Y type of asset, and then you get ROI in this facet. Things are a little different. It's a little unique, but there are huge opportunities. Think of it more like an esports team as opposed to a Web3 gaming guild or a traditional gaming guild, if you will. But yes, we're bringing great value as much as we possibly can. It's going to be a little bit different than what you're used to, I think.
All right. So yeah, hopefully this answers your question, John P2E. Thank you so much for that. We still have like 9 minutes left, guys. So let's proceed to some of these questions. So yeah, we have like 30 people who are watching right now live. So thank you so much for tuning in. Okay. So yeah. Oh, okay. Coming from Dr. Ribs. Regarding the pink sale that you have, for the pre-sale. How can we get to participate in the pink sale? It's not redirecting me to the same platform from Homie website. Even the timer has ended. Is there any vesting for pink sale participants?
Good question. Yeah, we're actually doing some maintenance. Ironically, the timing hadn't worked out. It's much earlier in the day for us. So we're doing some website maintenance right now. So the website may be showing the old website for some people. If you want to hop in the Telegram, we can get you the pink sale link. It's just within the announcements. So the Telegram link is t.me/HOMIEWARS. In there, we can get you the right link. The website should be resolved in no time at all. Let me just double check. I'm still getting the Cloudflare loading. It'll just be a couple of minutes, most likely, probably right around the end of this AMA. But the pink sale is available. You can also just go to Pink Sale's website if you're having issues just getting in the Telegram or something on the fly. So you go to pinksale.finance. You'll see we're number 3 trending already, just atop the screen. But yeah, it's very simple to contribute. There are no requirements because this is a fair launch pre-sale. This provides equal opportunity to everybody. In that capacity, you just connect your wallet through Pink Sale, make sure you're on the BNB chain network, and you make your contribution when the Pink Sale pre-sale opens. That's in about 3 hours, and it'll be running till Monday. So there should be no concerns there. There's no whitelist. There's no barrier to entry. You just simply hop on it and do as you wish. And apologize for the website. I didn't realize the maintenance is still going on. We'll get that resolved right away. So yeah, my apologies. Oh, and I forgot, no vesting. The market volatility right now is a bit of a concern for everybody. We understand that presents some problems. I mean, FTX really gave us a bit of a shake at the core foundation. So we decided that even though this is a gaming project and traditionally we would have a vested schedule, with what's going on right now, it's very important we protect our consumers as much as possible. And there are powers much larger than any of us that we can't control their behavior. So anything could happen in the crypto markets right now. We want to make sure that if something bad does happen, all of our users have the opportunity to make sure they're safe and secure and protect their families and their investment.
Okay, so hopefully this answers your concern, Dr. Rib. So thank you so much for that. Next question coming from Abdul Rahim M, also one of my longtime supporters. So his question for you guys, and I go, to participate in the weekly raffle for Homie Box, what is the staking period of Homie coins and how long should we stake to be eligible? And also, is there any minimum amount needed for staking these coins?
You want that one, Croissant? You want me to take it?
We do not. Well, you take it. Go ahead.
No problem. Sorry, I hog the mic a lot and I get on tangents, but I love to talk, so I'd be glad to answer this question. So when we're looking at staking, could you repeat the question? I was confused with the Homie Fox component. I just missed that.
Okay. I will repeat the question. To participate in the weekly raffle for Homie Box, what is the staking period of Homie coins? And how long should we stake to be eligible for that? And also, is there any minimum amount needed to stake them?
So that's something that we're going to be actually discussing with the community. Those weekly rewards or those weekly giveaways, opportunities are all going to be something that we want the community's input on. Of course, with the volatility in the market right now and seeing how the pre-sale plays out, we want to make sure that we are not creating a period that's too short. We don't want a period that's too long, but we want to make sure that the community has their consensus and their input. So that's something that post-launch we'll be discussing within the community. It hasn't been determined yet. We have some template ideas of what we think would be on the lower end, the higher end would be most sustainable, what is most functional. But of course, the community matters to us. And when we make decisions like that, we want them involved in that decision-making. So you want to hop in that Telegram community. You want to go to t.me/Homie Wars, and you want to get in, you want to chat with us, and you want to provide your input. Because we'll be having regular polls, we'll be having Google Forms, feedback loops where we can have the input provided by the community. And that's what's going to dictate decisions like that. It's very important that this is something that the community is striving with and very interested in contributing to. So we haven't set those numbers just yet, but they're on the way. But of course, we want your input when we bring those numbers to fruition.
All right. So hopefully this answers your question, Abdul Rahim. So thank you so much for that. Okay, we still have like 4 minutes to go. Okay. Next question coming from, I don't know how to pronounce this name, An Boy Sang. Does the project plan to burn and buy back these homie tokens, and how? Yeah, this is the question. And how can we do mass adoption of the project on a global scale? That's what I've tried to rephrase here.
So a very interesting question. We had alluded earlier quite a bit to how we look to onboard, and onboarding mass adoption includes seamless, easy experience with no barrier to entry. So as you can see, the game's free to play. As we have kind of indicated, we're looking in the next iterative step to use our tech partners to introduce those custodial wallets so that those that have no prior knowledge of Web3 will still be able to participate in buying tokens and buying NFTs. And we want to make the game as accessible as possible. So as we have obviously the platform right now in the browser dApp, we'll be moving to mobile very quickly. And that's really going to open up the doors to many all around the world. That's the key component for mass adoption. And we look at the token and we start talking about burning mechanisms and minting mechanisms. These are things that play into the economy, the game economy specifically. We won't be minting tokens, so there's less of a need to burn tokens. It's important that we circulate tokens. And when we say that, we look to replicating the real world economy in a fashion that works. When we have, if you take a step back and look at the global markets, when we have the increase in interest rates and we start to see inflation, this is when bad things happen. We want to prevent inflation. We want to prevent deflation, because when we have deflation, it causes some serious integral problems within the game economy. So what we want to have is stability. We want to have circulation. We want those that have the money to find ways to spend it, and those that don't have the money to find ways to earn it. And this is what we see in the real world economy. It's those that have great wealth, have businesses, and they have overhead and expenses, and they spend this money by providing salaries to people. They've, whether it be consumer goods, there's all kinds of different ways through retail and actual expense that they distribute this money, they distribute this wealth. And that those that have the time, the skills, and the ability and the know-how and the knowledge, they find ways to make that money. And it's just a circulating economy. So this is what we're going to be doing within the game. Getting too crazy with the minting and burning mechanics, that to me is a lot of the fluff we saw last year, where people try to find a new innovative way to burn and mint a token. And at the end of the day, there's not usually ever real value behind it, that there's no concept. It's just trying to catch people's attention with some clickbait or something trendy. We will, of course, be looking to find ways to expend the token for users to spend it, and other ways for users to earn it. And we just continue circulating, and that's how you create a sustainable economy.
Just to add on to that, this is, again, it's very much all about the game. We are really not focused on the mechanics of coins from last year. We are focused on building a truly sustainable, a truly Web3 gaming experience. So really, if you kind of want to see where the value is coming from, it is all about the game. Hop into the Homieverse. You just go to homiewars.com. We are undergoing maintenance right now, but check back a little bit later today or tomorrow for you guys. It pumps you right into the game. It's free to play. You don't even need to connect a wallet. You just jump right in and you can check it out. We actually have, we've made for a limited time a lot of different homie skins live and available for everyone to play with and try out. So you have, I forget how many it is, 10, 12 different homies you can choose from right now, just to test them out and see how they play and find your favorite. But other than that, it's really all about the game. So, you need to, kind of look around, and if you run down to the arena in the back, you'll see the big billboards all around the arena, and that's the advertising. And, bringing in the advertising is, how we funnel, that back into the community, back into the token. So it's really not about the mechanics of last year. It's about building the mechanics of this year that are sustainable and for years to come. So yeah, look for what we're doing that's new, homies, because we're building this right.
And something that a lot haven't seen, even those that have discussed, because last year there was some discussion about advertising in the metaverse, and not too many people actually embarked on it, and those that didn't execute it very well. But again, that's business revenue. And as we look to distribute that amongst the players, it brings a great value to those within the ecosystem. But those that are the speculative investors, it provides us the opportunity to take that capital and inject it within the liquidity pool, which is something is very important in terms of increasing the market cap of the overall business and the valuation. This benefits the token holders, this benefits the game players, and it benefits the business, believe it or not. Many people may say, oh, that's exit liquidity for some. No, it's a sound investment for us, because by injecting that liquidity, we show expansion of the business and increase the valuation for the Series A, Series B, Series C raises we look to in the future when we start introducing VC investors and major players, big VC firms and funds that we're talking to, and really embarking upon that mass adoption vision we have in the coming years. So another unique trade is taking the profit and putting it in the liquidity pool, which is a lot different than what we've seen in the past, where people take from the liquidity pool and call it profit. We're shifting the motions and trying to change this industry in a very beneficial way.
All right, so hopefully that this answers your concern, Anne, but so thank you so much. So since we're running out of time, let's entertain one more question. Okay, just one more question. I think I saw this earlier. Okay, let's see then. Okay, I'm coming from. I think I have missed. I think I missed that question. All right. Oh yeah, I think I have missed that question. It was really interesting one that I have seen earlier, but yeah. Okay. Last question coming from Jennifer. Okay. So currently attracting real users and mass adoption is a problem for the blockchain project. So how will Homie Wars solve this problem? And what are the benefits of, holding these tokens in the long term?
I'll kick this one off. So that's an excellent question. And because you're right, there is, a little bit of a disconnect between Web 2 and Web 3, but we have been studying this extensively, and we are so excited for everything that we have going on. Essentially, it's accessing Web3 gamers on their playing field, right? So you want to use the terms that they're familiar with. You want to be able to speak with them in words that they understand. And if you go out and you say to them, oh, you need an NFT, they're like, well, what's an NFT? But if you say you need a game skin, they're like, oh yeah, I know what a game skin is. I have that in a whole bunch of different games. So it's really just about talking to them in ways that they understand, and making sure that they know that, this is not one of the projects of last year that was, not, I don't want to say it was a scam, but it wasn't built properly for sustainability. This is completely different than what we've seen in the past, right? So what we're building right now is something that is long-term, it is sustainable. And that's kind of the message that we need to convey. But the way that we convey that to Web 2 gamers is just by showing them the game. So that's what they understand. So we just say, hey, come on and play, homie. And, we are offering, we're going to be integrating a custodial wallet so people can get in the game without even needing to know that they have a wallet or that they could do that side. But if they want to, if they end up winning the daily golden battle, or if they go into a PvP room and they want to, bet and that kind of thing against the other players to earn, they'll be able to, and they almost won't even know it, which is what's really exciting, because essentially at the end of the day, this is a game. And what Web 2 gamers love to do is they love to game. So it's just speaking to them in a way that they can understand.
Yeah, absolutely. Seamless experience, no barrier to entry, really hiding the Web3 on the back end. I mean, when we look back to, see, the advancement of the internet, when that became something that was mainstream and people started getting computers in their home, Nobody cared about TCP/IP protocol. It didn't matter to them. What mattered to them was, okay, now I can grab this device, I can go to a website, and I can find information about a company that I love and I can learn about. That was what mattered. People don't necessarily at the mass consumer level care about the technology behind the experience. They care about the experience and how easy it is for them and how comfortable it is for them and what it does for them. How does it alleviate a problem for them? How does it simplify their life? How does it create recreation for them? So, in a gaming platform, it's very important that we just make it a simple entry, username or an email and a password. And with that, they have a wallet on the back end, but they don't need to know how the hashtag, the hash IDs work, how a MetaMask works, how to build that, what a seed phrase is, all this type of stuff. They don't need to know that at first because they don't care about it at first. What they care about is, how can I get in the game? How can I get that game skin? How can I get this game currency to be able to wager? And then once we get them in the game and they're having fun because they enjoy the product and they enjoy the experience, then we have the opportunity to provide them the tools and resources. Just say, hey, did you know that you actually own this game skin? No one can close your account and take this away from you. You can actually take this to a secondary market and you can make profit. You could recoup your investment and you can move on to another game, or you could buy more of them. You can go look for others that are being sold by other people. Provide that opportunity of asset ownership. And then earning mechanics, you say, hey, did you know that game currency that you purchased a whole bunch of and been wagering, you can actually cash that out and make profit from that. It's not stuck in the game. We don't own that. You own that. That's yours. These are really important things. And when we start sending that message after they've already experienced the game and enjoyed it, then they're going to develop an interest in Web3. So not only are they going to have an interest in what they can do with Homie Wars in Web3, they're going to start looking at other games that we're partnered with in Web3. They're going to start looking at other cryptocurrencies, other NFT collections, and understanding the space. And we can guide them along at their own pace. Instead of coming to their door like a salesman, beating on the door saying, hey, you need to buy a crypto. No, it's just come play a game. And when you start to see the benefits of this and you see how it can provide value to your life, then we'll help you learn about it. And you're free to do as you wish. You move on in this journey however you wish. And that's mass adoption in Web3. That's how it's going to change the entire space. And we're just really excited that we have a model that works. We have the tech partners that work. We can implement this rather quickly. And we can actually be one of these industry leaders that changes the space entirely. That's a really exciting thing for us. And of course, on the gaming side of things, as we alluded to earlier as well, it's the content. I can never say content enough when it comes to a game, because that's what people care about. A lot of games, even some of the better games in the space that are developing, I mean, I don't want to speak negatively, but there's just not a lot of content. We have a lot of content, and we're introducing mechanics in the game to allow other people to create content. Knowing that we're going to be streaming these daily battles every single day, we're going to have Twitter spaces aligned with it. We'll be communicating with our community, engaging, creating real community where people get excited and connect together, and then allowing other people to be able to come into the game, gentlemen like yourself and other gentlemen and young ladies across YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, whatever platform it is, however they wish to stream or create content and disseminate it, they'll be able to do so and act as brand ambassadors of our game. And the players will be able to do the same. If you're winning some tournaments, you get to record that stuff, put it on video, put it up on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you wish, get your bragging rights, and then have the social integration to be able to immediately use your socials to go to various platforms and say, hey, I won the tournament today, and have a little tweet done up. And this is what makes things go viral. This is what gets people excited. And it's what exposes people to a project before asking them for any investment. Proof of concept is everything. And that's what our business is about. We prove a concept, we prove a profit, we prove a model, we prove an experience. It's always about proof first, and then let people make their informed decision. And I think without a doubt, we're going to be doing some very special things in this space and changing the space. I expect to see many people following these models after us, and we're here to help them too. Anybody who wants to learn what we've experienced, what we've learned throughout this space, we're here to improve Web3 as a whole for everybody.
All right. So hopefully that answers your concern, Jennifer. So thank you so much. So guys, unfortunately, we cannot cater all the questions here because we are already out of time. So guys, don't you worry, because all of your questions will be will be checked by the team. They will be reviewing them, and they are going to decide, guys, on which of these questions deserve to be on the top 5. And of course, we are also checking for some duplicate entries, so it will not be honored. If there are some duplicate accounts or some entries out there. Okay. So guys, for those of you who have watched our live stream today, I'm thanking you guys for your time. Your questions are really interesting, are really interesting for our special guest tonight. So guys, I really thank you. I really thank you for your time here. So before we wrap this up, guys, do you have any parting words for our subscribers and viewers who are tuning in right now?
Well, of course, we appreciate everybody's time. We hope this was an informative experience, but there is a lot of material to always cover. These AMAs get tough to get it all. So, I mean, hop in the Telegram, t.me/homie wars. Hop on Twitter, follow us there. It's twitter.com/homie_wars. There's a differentiation between those two. And of course, just reach out to us, talk, get in the Twitter spaces. We're on Twitter spaces every single day, several times a day. I think we have one actually with young lady TQ from the Philippines, who is a bit of an Axie legend. She's a good friend of ours, and she'll be working alongside us in a lot of ways. So we've got a Twitter space coming up there. We've got a bunch of AMAs, like 2-3 AMAs a day, every single day for the next week or so, it looks like. So just get involved, come hang out with us, come talk to us, hop in the Homieverse, come play the game with us. Let's have some fun.
Oh, that's really nice. Okay. Do you have something to say, Croissant?
No, I was going to say the same thing. I wanted to give a little shout out to Cornelius. I've seen you talking throughout the entire AMA, and I just want to say, hey, homie, thanks for all the cool support. But yeah, just and to everyone out there, just please hop in the Homieverse. Just come play, come have fun with us. That's what it's all about. It's free to play. You don't need a wallet. You don't need a blockchain. You just need to have some fun, right? So yeah, hop in and join us.
Yeah, Cornelius has been my longtime supporter, in my AMAs. Yeah, shout out to you, Cornelius. Thanks for your undying support. Yeah,
I haven't figured out how to respond in the chat just yet. I'm trying to multitask here, but I keep seeing everything that he's saying over there, and I want to be like, oh, thanks, homie. He's being so kind. So yeah, shout out to Cornelius.
Okay, and of course, I would like to also make a special shout out to Jonathan Kwan. He's celebrating his birthday today. He's watching us right now. Happy birthday, Jonathan! Yeah,
happy birthday, Jonathan!
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and also one more thing, Mr. Dip, you mentioned an Axie player in the Philippines. Like she's a female, she's a legend. Could you, may I know who her name is? Maybe I could familiarize that.
Yeah, that's TQ.
Oh,
she
TQ.
is on Twitter space. Sorry, Twitter. 1 second here. I believe it's TQ_games.
TQ.
I think she was one of the community
managers. She's an Axie legend. I'm not really familiar with her, but I'm only familiar of 2 girls, who are playing Axie. That is Zelia and Karakute. But for TQ, the first time I've heard of her, actually.
Oh, she's fantastic. She's with Tribally Games right now. She's been a community manager with them for quite some time, I believe, and she's a sweet young lady. She's always hosting Twitter Spaces with us. She's always doing outstanding philanthropic work in the Philippines. She's been a great asset to us and a good friend as well.
Oh, awesome! Maybe I should I should check her out on Twitter. I want to see her. In Twitter. Well, anyways, that's a wrap for our live AMA with Homie Wars, guys, featuring Mr. Dip and Croissant. So, guys, thank you so much for your time here with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything. You have a great day, my friend. Everybody take care.
Yeah, and also I would like to thank all of our subscribers and viewers who are tuning in to our live AMA right now with Homie Wars. So if you want to dig deeper about it, so all of the links, including the social media channels, are right here on the video description. And of course, guys, for the announcement of the top 5 questions, so head over to my Telegram. So that's Nomad Fury Official. Okay, I repeat, Nomad Fury Official. So that's the name of my Telegram group. So that's where I will be announcing the winners. But of course, the team will be having the final say on who among these entries are deserving to be on the top 5. Okay, so you just have to give them time. All right. And guys, once again, thank you so much for your time here with us. I know that right here in the Philippines, in Southeast Asia, I know that it's late, but guys, wow, you guys are really amazing, for this, you are really supportive up to this day. Wow. Thank you so much. All right. And guys, one more thing, I would like to invite you all to smash the subscribe button, hit like, and turn on the notification bell for more videos, AMAs, and a lot more. Okay. So from my freaking home studio, this is Jeff, aka Nomad Fury, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you all for watching. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye, homies.